Hey guys, so last time what we had was, or what our objective was, we wanted the computer to spout out, you have this much money. So we had the computer have a piece of text in the same line as a variable, not an actual number variable with another piece of text, okay? And remember, these would not work with these addition signs. It just wouldn't work. The computer wouldn't really be able to identify. Okay, so we need these pieces of text, otherwise it'll just show up as an error. So in this video, um, we're our what our objective is going to be is we're actually, instead of the programmer actually deciding on what the money is going to be, let's try and make it a bit interesting. Let's try and actually have the user, so not necessarily not the programmer, but the user, whoever comes on the computer. He's the one who's going to be, he or she is going to be the one who's going to be prompted, what amount of money, they have, or what number they want to put in. Okay. And then we're gonna, in the end, say, whatever money the user put in. Sounds a bit weird. Hopefully, it gets a bit easier. Okay, as we go along, you guys will definitely see. So we wanted, our main objective was, how do we have the user, uh, you know, get prompted, uh, whatever number of, what money represents. We don't want 3. That's what we made up. Let's have the user decide. Okay, and then we'll tell the user what they said. So in order to do that, we need to import a type of scanner, and the syntax for that goes as follows. So import java.util.scanner, and this is going to go to the Java database to import this scanner, and then with the scanner we're going to be using, that's the actual thing we're going to be using to read out what the user, was said. Okay, so I'm just gonna sort of copy paste this right here because we're gonna need the system.out.println. So in the beginning, let's try and make it a bit professional. In the beginning, let's say, user, please tell me how much money you have. So the user, he or she will be prompted how much money they have. But this is just gonna, ask this question. It's not gonna be actually prompting them. Okay. So in order for us to do that, is we use this scanner. So the syntax for that goes as follows: scanner input is equal to new scanner system bracket, so bracket system.in bracket, and then semicolon to end it off. This is how the syntax should definitely go, as if you want to prompt the user something. Okay, so this is going to introduce the scanner, and then, so what we wanted was, we wanted to have, so in this final line, it's going to be like, you have this much money, but money is not going to be 3. It says 3 here, but that's what we decided. It could be anything. It could be anything. It doesn't matter, if it's up here. We want the user to decide how much money it is. So whatever the user number, whatever number the user says, that's going to be equal to money, the new money. So how do we do that? We just have money, which is equal to input dot next int, because it's an integer that the money represents, right? And then bracket semicolon. Okay, so this is going to introduce the scanner, and this is going to actually, and prompt the user, and this is going to actually say that whatever the user inputs in, what number the user inputs in, that's going to be the new money. That's going to be the new money. So here, it's not going to be 4. It's going to be whatever the user inputted in. So let's just go through the programming really quickly again. We wanted, in the beginning, we wanted the user to be prompted how much money they have, and then we're going to say, or spout out whatever, amount of money they have. Okay? How do we do that? We import the scanner. This goes to the database of Java and gets the scanner for this project. It goes down through these lines. It's going to say, it's going to detect an integer variable called money, and initially it's going to be represented as 4, money. But that doesn't really matter, because we're going to replace that with whatever the user inputted in. Okay? So in the next line, we're going to actually say, user, please tell me how much money you have, or how much money you have. So the user, he or she will, actually input physically a number. Doesn't matter what number it is. That number is going to represent what money, which is our variable, is going to be. So it's not going to be 4 anymore. It's going to be some other number. And then in the end, we're just going to say what the user put in. Okay? So let's just compile that. Hopefully everything works. Yep. Let's go to the main page. And it still says lesson 4. Let me just, that's fine. It doesn't matter. It's just the name. It doesn't really matter. Okay? It's actually lesson 5. So we're going to compile this and run it. So this says whatever I told it to say. User, please tell me how much money you have. Let's go for 113. Okay, and then I'm going to press enter. So there you have the system detecting how much money you have, which is 113, and then spouting out, you have $113. Okay, pretty neat. I was quite impressed when I first kind of saw how this worked years ago. It is pretty cool. So thank you guys for watching, and join me in the next video.